Rupa, tell me, what are these different segments of women investors that you're reaching out to? And do you think that each one of them deserves a customized approach so that they feel more open towards entering the mutual fund industry?
So obviously you have different segments of women investors. So there are housewives, right? Or the homemakers that we call. They have limited financial decision making, uh, uh, chances that they have, but they are quite understanding that how to manage their own money. So obviously, when you go and sit with them and make them understand, saying that it is long-term wealth, your money has to grow, how do you save for the family, how important it is, saying that long-term security is needed. Those housewives definitely look into it and they change their approach, but you have to help them to mold them and help them to say that how they can break their barriers, speak to their spouses, speaks to their parents, speak to their brothers, and come out of things saying that how they can manage their wealth and money. So they have to, I encourage them to go and talk to their respective, even after marriage, there are some times where the brother and the uh, parent, father takes care of the wealth, or it could be even the husband who takes care of the wealth. So, you have to mold them and you have to just encourage them to say that, you can seek help and you can still do it. So, the first thing which I talk to them is please take away the fear out of you saying that you're going to make a mistake. Because even while cooking, when they started cooking, they have made mistakes while cooking, and after only make mistakes that you learn to perfect a dish. It's the same way with investment. So it is no rocket science. We all make mistakes. And it's not that you're going to erode everything because we teach our children, right? Saying that you make mistakes, you will still be fine. It is the same way. So I speak to them in a different language to mold them and say that please encourage them to do it because Anita, I only believe saying that only one woman can empower the other woman in whatever walks of life. And that is very essential for all of us to do. Then you have working women. So in the working women, they have diverse financial goals, and investment preferences because they are working. But you have to understand saying that most of them who come to work, they've come with certain circumstances because of their family's need, family circumstances. They've come because either the elder in the family is not doing well and they have to support the family. They have debt payments, loans, and circumstances of dependent family members. So they come with all of this when it comes to most of the women that I have seen have come that, except for 20 or 30% of the women really come and say that I want to make a career. Others I'll have come with these circumstances. So obviously their preferences, their challenges are completely different. And they are so overwhelmed because they have to take care of these uh, responsibilities and they also have to have money for themselves. So sometimes get overwhelmed. So providing guidance to them helps them to bring in a discipline and establish a, you know, uh, long-term approach, how to asset allocate, how to handle their money. It helps. So you have to mold them very differently because their circumstances, their thing is different. So they are in a completely different space. So they take time. They want someone whom they can really trust. They want someone whom you can fall back on so that, in crisis, they can call you up and you can help them to but because when it comes to money, most of us, there is a taboo in the society that we don't talk about money. With 10 out of 8 people, we don't talk about money. I think money is not spoken on our dining tables of our homes when we grew up and even today. Money is not spoken around with friends. Money is only when it comes to money, we learn from the streets how to manage money from here and say. And so that's where we make mistakes. That's where we sometimes don't take decisions and we just keep ourselves away from distancing itself. So it's not my cup of tea. So obviously, these women, you have to go and talk to them. You to approach them most of the time, and that's what I have done. I've actually nudged them to think differently. So I have to really nudge them. So it's like some point of time you might have to nudge them and see that how you can touch them. Um, the third are especially widows who actually take the reins of the family money when circumstances comes where they have lost their husbands, and that navigating that transition process is very emotionally challenging for them at that point of time. So obviously, that pressure of sustaining their lifestyle all of a sudden to run their homes, assist family, children, or sometimes even old parents that they have, it just entails a lot of stress on them. Again, once if you're able to touch base with them, handhold them, guide them, and say that how you can bring that stability and discipline, and help them to see that they have their regular income which will come in with whatever assets they have. And if you're able to help them and plan them and solve their problems, they are like they are your clients for life. And I always pray, and I always tell all the women saying that don't wait for such a circumstances to come when when you are so emotionally drained and emotionally challenged at that particular time. But please start managing your money much ahead of certain circumstances like this. And it is better that you handle it much earlier. Obviously, then you have single women. Their challenges are completely different because they have so much of pressure of managing, earning money, managing their home, managing their children sometime. They're uh, because they are so much want to concentrate on their career, uh, for the reason because they have to survive. They have to see that the children are educated. They have to run their homes. Their challenges are completely different. So there you will have to sit with them and do their actual balancing of their expenses, income. How do you manage? And they don't have time. There's so much on their career and children, and they just don't have time. So you have to be there with them and help them and assist them every small thing on their life. And if you're able to take care of that, I think they appreciate you when they become your clients for life. So these are the four categories which I have experienced in my life, where uh, they to be molded differently. You have to understand their problems differently, and if you're able to understand that problem and find a solution for them and give them that peace, that empathy, that peace, listening to them, understanding them, I think you have done it all. And that's how. But one important thing, Anita, is we have to go and talk more rather than expecting, saying that somebody is going to come and walk to you and say that I have a problem and I have to do. It doesn't happen that way.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully.